Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Canelo Alvarez shares his Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson prediction. Canelo Alvarez is fielding tons of questions about his career, so it's interesting to hear his take on two fighters who aren't anywhere near his division. During an interview, Alvarez was asked who he would bet on if Gervonta Davis fights Shakur Stevenson. Alvarez paid both fighters respect, but said, "I put my money on Gervonta Davis. Davis Stevenson is among the most highly anticipated fights in the lower weight classes. Based on what we have seen from both fighters, Davis' wins have looked more impressive from an excitement standpoint. Gervonta has routinely gained his opponent's timing, seizes their power and three potential before closing in and smashing through them. Stevenson has utilized his blazing speed, defense, and punching accuracy to pick opponents apart. The major question is, can Stevenson outbox a tank for 12 rounds without the later catching up to him and testing the former's chin and resilience? It's a fascinating potential fight. While the two sides have yet to agree, it feels like an unavoidable clash between two of the best fighters in the world, who hold half of the world titles at lightweight. Stevenson is currently a free agent, exploring his promotional options. Davis is inked with the premier boxing champions, and fights are streaming on Amazon Prime. In the PBC sense, Canelo and Gervonta are stablemates. However, a deal would need to be struck between Stevenson and PBC to make that fight happen. This scenario isn't out of the realm of possibility. Considering it's one of the biggest money fights in the sport, Davis has other options. He could turn to WBA champion and fight him. Stevenson might end up taking on undefeated Golden Boy fighter William Zepeda. Although it's worth noting, Stevenson had to be separated at the Terence Crawford-Israel Madrimov fight in Los Angeles on August, suggests that those two may be interested in engaging in a long overdue battle. There have been talks, but nothing has been made official, as Stevenson could potentially work with Oscar De La Hoya of Golden Boy at the Hearn of Matchroom or PBC, or even remain independent and sign a deal with Turki Al-Sheikh to be a part of the Riyadh season movement. We will likely find out the next move for both men soon. Canelo's next fight is on September 14, when he defends his super middleweight title against Edgar Berlanga. Isaac Cruz considering a Valenzuela rematch after losing date with Gervonta Davis. Isaac Pitbull Cruz is licking the wounds of the narrow loss that cost him his title by taking his family to a Southern California theme park on Tuesday. The popular Cruz was outboxed by his fellow Mexican and failed to duplicate his vicious offensive attack that won him the WBA 140 pounds belt in June against Rolando Romero. Not only did Cruz lose his title, he squandered a highly possible December rematch with the unbeaten Gervonta Davis, who Cruz went the distance with as a replacement opponent in December 2021. He has the right to invoke a rematch clause with Valenzuela, and judging by a conversation with Cruz's advisor Sean Gibbons, it appears that that's what he will do. Worst case scenario, it's a draw because Cruz won 4 of the first 5 and he won at least 2 more rounds after that, Gibbons said. There is no way that fight was anything worse than a draw, it was a win. I'm not saying it was an outright robbery, but the judges like that keep those moving hands. Pitbull is looking to return back to the ring quickly, reviewing first the rematch with Valenzuela, Gibbons said. As most of the fans who were booing his scoring believe he won, so does he. Pitbull lost none of who he is. We put him back in there with a guy who wants to throw down Mexican style. He's back, Gibbons said. Three-way world champion Shakur Stevenson is, by the numbers, one of the most defensively skilled boxers in the game. With a fantastic lead hand and the ability to skirt just out of range of any shots coming back, Stevenson has rarely looked troubled in the ring whilst making his way through there. Stevenson's last two bouts have been followed by criticism from analysts as being less than entertaining. His defense-first style, defined by the hit and don't get hit mantra, wins titles but not necessarily more fans. Former world champion Sean Porter believes he will rise as his competition does, and told that Gervonta was the perfect opponent to make that happen. The fight needs to happen. I know they are gonna say that Shakur is boring. It's all about the dance partner as well. I thought he had a good dance partner in the last one. I know he still held his hands a little more than people would like him to, but he is a counter-puncher. People just don't understand that from his game, Shakur is the real deal, and I think Tank is the perfect fight for him to pull out even more of what he can do. The fight was seemingly close recently, at least the path to make it happen was clear. Stevenson, now a free agent after a deal with Top Rank, came to its conclusion, was looking for a fight. Despite the circumstances, both men have said that a fight being targeted for November is false, and Shakur has since been mentioned with #1 contender William Zepeda. Davis, meanwhile, may look to rematch Isaac Cruz if he comes through his latest defense against Jose Valenzuela. The rematch is justified given Cruz is just one of the two men to take the Baltimore Puncher the distance in a 13-fight campaign. Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis rematch is primed for next year. The prospective rematch between Isaac Cruz and Gervonta Davis will be primed for 2025. That's according to Pitbull Cruz manager Sean Gibbons, who told This Week that a second fight against Gervonta Davis is likely only a matter of time, as his fighter continues to develop a significant fan base. The 26-year-old must first dispatch his next opponent, Jose Valenzuela, whom he faces Saturday at the 22,000 capacity BMO Stadium in Los Angeles. The sole main future to Terence Crawford's return to the ring against Madrimo. So, Jose Valenzuela upset Isaac Cruz by split decision to capture the WBA junior welterweight title Saturday at BMO Stadium. One judge scored the bout 115-113 for Cruz, but was overruled by 112 and 116-112 scores for Valenzuela. The win continued a stunning turnaround for Valenzuela, who suffered back-to-back defeats in 2022-2023 at 35 pounds, following a third-round knockout loss to Edwin De Los Santos. Valenzuela dropped a unanimous decision to Chris Colbert. Valenzuela's fortunes changed in the December 2023 rematch with Colbert when he scored a spectacular 6-round knockout victory. Following the win, Valenzuela moved up to 140 pounds to challenge for his first world title. He came through with a career-best performance, boxing with a discipline against the hard-charging, ultra-popular Pitbull Cruz. Shakur Stevenson discusses talk with Gervonta Davis' team amid rumors they will fight in November. That fight is going to happen. Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis were reportedly in agreement to clash for the unified lightweight world title in November. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.